Good to have you with us. You're watching The Big Story with me, Avni Raja. Now, it's the 29th day of the national lockdown and nearly 20,000 people. We're almost close to the 20,000 mark now in terms of coronavirus cases across the country. The death toll, meanwhile, has climbed to 640 and over 3,800 people have recovered. Meanwhile, in the light of growing attacks against healthcare workers, the cabinet has approved an ordinance that ensures strict action against those who attack doctors and medical staff who are at the front line of this fight against coronavirus. Meanwhile, rapid tests for coronavirus have been halted in the country for a period of 2 days after several states complained. Now, speaking on the issue today, Union Minister Prakash Javadekar said that rapid tests are not confirmatory tests of the virus and are mainly used for surveillance and not diagnostic. It's not diagnostic in nature. But the move has also paused the ICMR study on community transmission, which was being done through these rapid test kits. Now, the ICMR has set up 8 teams to actually validate these rapid test kits.
ICMR has prepared the protocol for using rapid antibody test to all states. सभी राज्यों को ICMR ने कैसे रैपिड एंटीबॉडी टेस्ट का उपयोग करें यह बताया है. यह टेस्ट नहीं है. टेस्ट कोविड है कि नहीं यह तय करने वाली टेस्ट अलग है. वो RT-PCR बोलते हैं उसको. RT-PCR is the test to decide whether somebody is having corona infection or not. That is different. वो अलग है. और ये जो रैपिड एंटीबॉडी टेस्ट है ये सर्वाइलेंस का टूल है. एक तरह से एक हथियार है. लोगों की पहले ही एक बार शिनाख्त हो जाए और दुनिया भर में ऐसा ही उसका उपयोग होता है. और ये देखते हैं कि किसी के शरीर में एंटीबॉडीज तैयार हुए हैं क्या, ये देखते हैं. ये उसका एक लिमिटेड काम है. तो यही लोगों को लगा कि एक खेप में कोई गड़बड़ हुआ या ऐसा मुद्दा नहीं है. ये मुद्दा एंटीबॉडी टेस्ट का उद्देश्य अलग है. वो कोविड तय करने का टेस्ट नहीं है.
Ayushman joining me for more details at this point in time. Ayushman, so at this point in time, rapid test kits have been halted for a period of 2 days, and this is going to have several ramifications in that, the screening and the surveillance which was to be done at certain hotspots will not be able to be done right now. That will get delayed. The study of the ICMR community transmission study also is halted. But what is now going to be the way forward? How is the center going to ensure that these kits which are already here are validated, and if they are faulty, how will they in fact be exchanged?
Currently, Avni, the ICMR has written to states for once again giving them a protocol for using the rapid antibody test, and in this ICMR has said that it is still collecting the data from various states to assess the scope and extent of utility of these rapid antibody tests in field conditions, because the ICMR has already tested them in the lab conditions. Now, because they are being used in field, they will be tested in the fields, and they have said that it should not be used as a confirmatory test. It is again reiterated that they should be largely used as a surveillance tool. And these test results, the ICMR has said, are also dependent on the field conditions. So for next 48 hours, we know, Avni, for next 24 hours at least, the ICMR has advised the states not to use the rapid action kits because the variation has been registered there. If these kits are found to be not up to quality, they'll be returned to China, from where we can expect a new lot. But we have already placed an order which is not coming, so it would be a lot tougher task. But right now, the ICMR has said that states should halt the process for about next 2 days.
All right, Ayushman, thanks so much for joining us with all of those details. But let's focus a little bit more on the implications of this and the rapid testing, which actually needed to be done at this point in time across the country. Joining me on the show are Dr. Suranjit Chatterjee, Senior Consultant, Internal Medicine at Indraprastha Apollo Hospital, and Dr. Naveen Dang as well, Consultant, Microbiologist and founder of Dr. Dang's Labs. Thank you both of you for joining us on the show today. Dr. Chatterjee, let me come to you first. The rapid test kits, it was delayed a lot, and finally it got here, and now they appear to be faulty. My question really is that how much of a hindrance is this going to be? Because right now we need to ramp up testing, we need to ramp up testing fast. With the number of asymptomatic cases that are coming to light, the rapid test kits was something that was seriously needed. So how much is this now going to hamper the fact that we might have to exchange all of them in the first place?
It is definitely a hindrance. There's no doubt about it, because this is the time when the lockdown was extended. We had thought that all the tests would be ramped up and we will have more of containment areas, the red zone, so that we know how to go about it once the lockdown period is finishing, or to prepare for the lockdown period to finish. Obviously, this was never considered to be a diagnostic test. It was more for surveillance purposes and for epidemiological purposes. So obviously, it has for the moment backfired a bit. But in the next let's wait for the next 24 to 48 hours. Let's see what the ICMR comes out with. And I'm hopeful that these type of kits have been used in other countries where they have been helpful for epidemiological purposes, as I said. So I just hope that the ICMR comes out with an answer to that, and we can progress further as to how to go about to finish the lockdown period, how to earmark the containment zones and the red zone.
All right, Dr. Dang, a state like Rajasthan is claiming that the accuracy rate of the tests that they've conducted through the rapid kits are not more than about 5%. So when we're talking about such a low accuracy rate, and if there are more kits like that which have this kind of a problem, then there is no other alternative but to literally send all of them back and then wait as and when the next, lot actually comes in.
What you're saying is absolutely right. But my first contention request is that the data should be there, that on what basis have these tests been called wrong? Has the sensitivity been poor?
Dr. Dang, is
when
my
was
voice
the patient positive? Yes, very well. Is my voice reaching you, please? Sanjay?
All right, I think we seem to have a problem with the audio line there. We'll just try and get that fixed. Dr. Ang, if you can hear me, we'll just try and get that line fixed. Dr. Chatterjee, let me just come back to you here. The question then is, what happens in the interim period when we need to sort of, we're already running short of kits, and the fact is that these rapid test kits were really needed to sort of, to survey, for surveillance, as has been time and again said.
Obviously, it's a hindrance that has happened, but I'm sure that we'll come over it. For the moment, maybe we'll have to go ahead with the RT-PCR test. There is an option which we don't know, which the government has to consider, that in the interim period, if the kits are not available, do we have the option of doing pool tests as an alternative? The pooled RT-PCR test, is that an alternative? But I'm sure that these kits, which will be validated in the next couple of days, and we'll have to see as to under what circumstances was this sensitivity of 5% thought of. So obviously ICMR is sending teams to validate these things, to find out exactly under what circumstances that the 5% sensitivity came through. But if it is really true, then obviously for the next couple of days, we are going to lag behind.
Right, absolutely, Dr. Chatterjee. Dr. Dang, if my voice is reaching you now, what is your view on this entire situation right now, considering and especially the fact that more testing is the need of the hour right now?
Then, first and foremost, as we all have reiterated and has been told by ICMR and all my esteemed colleagues on this channel and other channels, the test of choice is, of course, real-time PCR. The antibody test is only for surveying purposes, to be done only in hotspot areas. We all agree upon that. Second thing, that how the tests, these rapid antibody tests have reached us,
Yes.
they need to be revalidated. I'm not sure that on what basis we are saying that the sensitivity is only 5%. Have the kits got spoiled, or actually there was a manufacturing defect in that? I think I'll not answer this question till the time very sure that how has it been validated. Now, it's very much possible that the tests are being done very early in the disease, where the IgM antibodies have not appeared, or are they being done on patients who are RT-PCR positive still, but the seroconversion has not occurred. So we'll have to wait for all the independent agencies like ICMR, etc., to validate the test and come back to us. And yes, of course, if they're not right, if they're malfunctioning, they'll have to be returned, and that is definitely going to be a hindrance, because that will take a couple of days for a new lot to be brought in.
Yes, absolutely. But Dr. Dang, ICMR has set out a proper protocol that needs to be followed with respect to rapid testing. Like you pointed out, the antibodies don't show up until a few days well after the disease has actually hit you. So that entire protocol has already been put forth by the ICMR. So what then if these kits are still faulty? How will the validation process actually take place?
See, I'm quite sure the ICMR and the government would have collected samples from patients who have been positive, and at least a week or 10 days has elapsed since the time they tested positive by RT-PCR. I think their samples will be used. I'm not the right person to answer, because ICMR has their own protocol, and to see if these tests are coming positive with these patient serum samples or not. If they are coming very good, if they're not, then there's something definitely wrong with the testing kits.
Right. All right. The other part, Dr. Chatterjee, is the fact that the ICMR's community transmission study has also come to a halt. Till now, of course, the center has been maintaining that there is no evidence of transmission happening across the country today. But that study was also extremely important at this stage where we are.
That's true, but unfortunately, you cannot have studies going on when the kits are really not working properly. As Dr. Dang said, that let the validation, that ICMR teams have gone to different places, let the validation team go through it, find out that, okay, the tests were done in the right way at the right time. And once we have the validation tests available and they say that the kits are faulty, then we are obviously in a bit of a trouble, because, as I said, the lockdown period is going to finish in the next couple of days. And we really needed to ramp up the tests at this moment, so that we know the areas which are to be curtailed, which are to be really taken care of. So obviously, it's a hindrance that has happened, at least for the time being.
Right. So, Dr. Chatterjee, that in fact is the question, that if all of these kits have to be sent back or they have to be exchanged in that interim period where every day is very precious in terms of, trying to screen and trying to sort of contain the spread of the virus in India right now, what is the alternative? What is the plan B that needs to be put in place in the event of that actually happening?
Can we...
Dr. Chatterjee, is my voice reaching you? All right, Dr. Dang, if my voice is reaching you, and you heard my question, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'll answer your question. The thing is that as long the antibody tests, let's assume, are not available at the moment. Let's assume that the kits are not functioning well. Then we come back to where we were, that we have to again ramp up and increase the capacity and continue with our RT-PCRs. That's the only option. We cannot let it go. Again, as we have been saying for the last month or so, test, test, and test. We increase, we open the window. At the moment, all of us are going by the ICMR guidelines of testing certain number of patients who fall into certain categories. But now we'll have to open up the window and increase or make the test available for more patients, or I can say not patients, but more individuals whom we suspect or who can even be silent carriers. Like there was a report today which I was reading that all patients who are coming to hospitals for getting any kind of a treatment or a surgery or any kind of a investigation done, they should be tested for coronavirus by RT-PCR. And like I said, that all patients, all individuals are positive till proved otherwise. So in this state where we are expecting community transmission may have started occurring, let's go by the fact that all patients or all individuals who are suspects or may not even be suspects but who are within certain catchment areas should be properly tested by RT-PCR only till the time the antibody tests are available.
All right, Dr. Dang and Dr. Chatterjee, thank you so much for joining us with those comments and on that conversation. On that note, time to slip into We've got breaking news that's coming in. The Home Ministry has asked states to appoint nodal officers who will be available 24/7 to redress any safety issue related to medical professionals. Also asked states to take strict action against those who obstruct last rites of a medical professional and also provide security during their last rites. Those are the details coming in. This is the latest details coming in from the Home Ministry on how the medical staff need to be protected and issuing these kind of directives to all the states and union territories, asking them to appoint 24/7 nodal officers for this purpose. Ayushman joining us for more details. Ayushman, this of course is now further directives coming in of how the medical staff, the frontline warriors need to be protected, and the way the instances of them being targeted have been coming to light. Now all of this precautionary measures being taken.
The Union Home Secretary in the letter written to states has cited that there are a few heinous instances of unruly behavior by people have also been reported in some part of country wherein the family and relatives of medical professionals suspected to have died due to COVID-19 were prevented from performing last rites, and this should not be repeated. It has been said that adequate protection should be given to healthcare professionals, medical staff, frontline workers by augmenting their safety and security cover. And it has been said that it has been reiterated again by the Union Home Ministry. And today we also know that the centre has also passed a new law, and it has been said that ensuring adequate security to healthcare professionals should be the first priority for the state governments right now.
All right, Ayushman, thanks so much for joining us with all of those details. And more breaking news that's coming in. The Kerala High Court sharply criticized the state government regarding the deal with US-based technology firm Sprinklr, which was collating data on COVID in the state. The High Court has directed that the government should explain if privacy of data was ensured in the contract. And the High Court also directed the government to inform the court regarding the details of Sprinklr deal and posted the matter for Friday as well. Vivek joining us for more details. Vivek, obviously High Court is pretty upset with the way this deal was conducted. The biggest concern being privacy of data. But help us understand, tell us about this firm Sprinklr and what was the contract that was struck.
This contract was struck on the 2nd of April, where this company, US-based technological company called Sprinklr, that's owned by a Malayali called Saji, Saji Thomas actually. According to this particular deal, that the details, the health, details, especially about the 1.7 lakh people under quarantine in Kerala, especially those people who are more vulnerable to this particular disease right now. According to that, these data will be provided to them. So the Sprinklr, using a tool, will make sure that all these data has been collated and has been arranged in such a manner so that the doctors can go ahead with the next course of treatment. It's such a tool to make sure that the job of the government is more easy Now, on the ground, there are thousands of health officials and other, workers, health workers and Anganwadi workers, and a lot of people under the health department who's trying to collate this data. But using this particular tool, the data has been collated and arranged in such a manner that the doctors can actually ensure that the patients can be given the right treatment, can be asked to go to the separate hospital. So this particular deal, now the opposition Congress party is alleging that how can a government actually give the data, provide the data of 1.7 lakh people to an American company, and said that
Right.
the government should have informed the law department and the finance department, and right now the chief minister is answerable. Now in the High Court,
Yes.
the High Court has clearly asked the government as what are the information that they are providing to the company.
Absolutely, Vivek. So, of course, we'll have to wait and see what next the High Court says on this particular issue. But let's turn our attention to Chandigarh now, where security has been further increased after it was marked as a hotspot. No relaxation in Chandigarh right now. Only shops related to essential services are open. Take a look at this ground report.
Chandigarh has declared as a containment zone, and we can see that security has been beefed up as we learned that 11 various nakas have been seized, entry points have been sealed so that the outsider cannot come inside. At the same time, within sectors we can see that how the security has been beefed up, and the police is checking each and every vehicle too while entering inside and moving from one place to another place. And they are also seeing that proper curfew rules are being followed by the agents, and even within the cars we can see that social distance is being maintained. More than two people cannot go in the car, and that's what the Chandigarh police as well as the Chandigarh administration is doing since it has been declared as containment zone, and all the precautions are being taken for fighting against COVID-19. With Vijay Yashpal Singh, this is Gurpreet Singh, China.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of The Big Story. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned tomorrow now.